Ellie Mae, you better learn Skipper some table manners or Granny ain't gonna let him eat in her kitchen.
I'd a heap rather have him eating in my kitchen than that big, overgrown, lazy, good-for-nothing Leif Crick.
Now, Granny, don't start on Leif again. He's gone. He's on his way back to the hill.
He don't live in the hills. He lives in the gully. And it's his kind that give the hill people a bad name.
He's on his way back to the gully and his daughter with him. Now, let's forget him.
Granny, don't get yourself all angered up.
Who's angered up?
You are, because that Leif Crick tried to get you to marry his daughter. Ain't that right?
Shucks, no. They's both going back home.
I'm the only one that has the answer. It's a sorry thing. When a poor old stove-up, worn-out,
Well, leave go of it, Granny. Leif is gone, and you can't start a fire without you got two sticks to rub together.
You calling me a stick?
Don't start in on me. Here. Have some of this scalding hot coffee. It'll cool you down.
Here we are, Mr. Crick.
Ma'am, I just don't know how to thank you. A fine, beautiful young city girl like you giving a poor old hound dog like me a ride in your beautiful automobile?
Nonsense, Mr. Crick. The moment you told me that you were Mr. Clabbett's nearest and dearest friend...
Like that, Jed and me. Two peas in a pod. Always was.
I'd be so happy that you're staying over.
Missing my own daughter's wedding to do it. But I says to myself, Leif, I says, if you can pleasure Jed and Granny and them young'uns even that itty-bitty bit by staying over here like they begged you to, you just gotta forget your own pleasure.
Just like Mr. Clabbett, always thinking of others.
Like that, Jed and me. Two birds and a mule's tail. Always was.
I wish I could stay and see this joyous reunion between two old friends, but I must be getting back to the bank.
Yeah. You take good care of old Jed's money, you hear? You keep a tight hold on it now.
Don't you worry, it's safe.
That's comforting to know.
It's comforting to know that Mr. Clabbett has friends like you. I hope you can stay for a while.
I'm going to try my best. You got my word.
Skipper and me'll be back to help you with the dishes. Help me with the dishes, and that's what you get when you deal with those gully people. Leif Crick, S. himself. I'll tell you, I've seen some things. That's the way it is. I never won nasty trash.
Jethro, I reckon we gotta let Granny blow off that head of steam she built up over Leif.
I reckon it'd pleasure her a heap to cut loose and speak her mind.
Granny, what do you think of Leif Crick?
Why, he is the laziest, no-account varmint that ever drawed a breath.
Go, Granny, go.
Why, the only hard work that he ever done was to turn over in bed. He can get up in the morning with nothing to do, and by nightfall, it's only half done.
That's it, Granny. Me mouth him good.
His woman does all the work over at their place, and the only time she's ever got him out in the field is slapping his stomach so he couldn't sit down.
Oh, Granny, let her fly.
The only nickel he ever earned was when his pa paid him 2 bits to stay away from the house. Why, he would whitewash his own ma and rent her out to haunt houses. Why, he's so lazy, even his scarecrows have to sit in a chair. You talk about a liar. Why, that Leif Crick, he wouldn't know the truth if he stepped on a dead foothead.
Go, Granny.
He's like a catfish. All mouth, no brains. He's got whiskers like a catfish. Shifty-eyed, big feet. I don't want to talk about him no more.
That's good, Granny. Them last two wasn't much anyway.
I bet you feel a heap better, don't you?
I feel wonderful. And I'm going to cook up a mess of the finest victuals that this family ever clapped their jaws on.
Jethro and me has got some wood to cut out back.
See you later, Granny.
What's got that, Skipper?
You speak to me, boy.
That was me.
the way that girl treated me.
What did she do?
Went away and left me stranded. Without no car, no money, no food, all sick and starved.
We got plenty of food, and Granny will doctor you back to health.
No, honey. I don't want to burden nobody, but I would like to see your pa's face just one more time before I pass on to my reward. Now, maybe if you was to help me, I could get to my feet and make my way to the table. I mean, to wherever your pa is.
Well, he's in the kitchen.
Good. Good.
I am Prince Charles, boy, Billy boy. I am Prince Charles, charming Billy, and my rules will be saved. Now the queen is ready. Please, not good for nothing. Go down, lady of our men.
Hello. Dear, sweet little old granny.
What's the matter, Granny?
It's Leif Crick. That good-for-nothing, low-down, lazy, victual-stealing, liquor-drinking gully jumper.
Granny, I thought you'd blow it off all that steam.
I did, but he's back and I'm commencing to boil again.
Leif is back?
Yes, but not for long. Give me that axe.
Good old friend. And forced me to come in and have some victuals to help me get my strength back.
Well, you're always welcome at our table, Leif.
Oh, no. I ain't looking for no handout. Leif Crick ain't one to be asking for charity. No, sirree. Leif Crick wants to work for what he gets.
I didn't know there was two Leif Cricks.
Well, ain't no call for you to work, Leif, but if it make you feel any better, here's the axe. You can help Jethro yonder cut some wood.
I'd be glad to. I'd be proud to do it, but I think first I'll change into my work clothes. I wouldn't want to get my Sunday go-to-meeting suit all mussed up.
Give me that axe.
Now, Granny, you leave Leif be.
I ain't after him, but if you're sending him out there to work, I'm going out there first and sharpen them stumps.
That ain't a bad hour's work, Jethro.
I'll say it ain't. Can we stop for victuals now, Uncle Jed?
This is Leif gets through. Granny's feeding him first.
Well, I thought Granny didn't like him.
Well, it ain't that. It's just that it's dangerous for other folks to sit at a small table with Leif when he's eating.
He'll swing his knife and fork around right lively.
Like a snare drummer in a Possum Day parade.
I was going, Granny. I'm going, Granny. Oh, cripple me, you let me.
What crippled your knee?
Well, the rheumatiz, Granny. Now, if you was to give me a little bit of your rheumatiz, man.
Well, Leif, you ready to go to work, are you?
Can't hardly wait to sail into it, Jet. Got my working clothes on now.
You notice the only places working clothes is patched, don't you?
Now, Granny. Maybe he's turned over a new leaf.
Not unless there's food under it.
What you got in the pan?
Nothing. I was using it to dip grits and jowls for Leif. I couldn't keep ahead of him with a spoon.
I can't believe it. I can't believe that one man could work like that.
This one can. He's another Jed Clampett.
Howdy, Miss Hathaway, ma'am. I'm afraid you caught me resting a bit.
Well, you deserve to rest. Why, from my place, it sounded like there were 3 or 4 men over here, sawing, chopping, splitting logs.
Well, that's just the way I work, sir.
Oh, Mr. Crick, permit me to introduce Mr. Clampett's next-door neighbor and the president of our bank, Mr. Drysdale.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Crick.
I ain't good enough to shake the hand of no bank president, sir.
Now, don't be ridiculous. I'd be honored to shake your hand.
It's all rough and full of calluses from working every day from sunup to sundown.
By George. You and Jed Clampett are certainly cast from the same mold.
Is that like this, Mr. Dale?
2 peas in a pod.
Oh, well, if you just gentlemen will excuse me, I'll run along and say hello to Jethro.
Sit down, man. You must be exhausted.
Shucks, no, Mr. Banker. Well, I work up and down like this today. Of course, this beginning to catch up with me a mite. I ain't a young fella like you.
Oh, I'm not so young.
Well, according to Jed, you are. His exact words to me, he says, now, you be sure and speak to young Mr. Drysdale about that job. Job? Don't tell him I wasn't going to let that slip out. I was bound and determined not to. Well, you just forget it, Mr. Banker. It's Jed's idea, not mine.
No, tell me all about it. Any idea of Jed Clampetts? I want to hear.
Well, Jed, he had this notion that you could hire me to watch his money for him down to your bank.
Oh, you mean like a guard or a night watchman?
Night watchman. That sounds like it.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Having Leaf Crick around will lead to nothing but trouble.
You're right, Granny.
That's a fact.
Yes, ma'am.
I know the Crick's better than any of them. I know his paw and his paw before him. And the three of them put together ain't worth the powder it would take to blow them up.
You're right, Granny.
That's a fact.
Yes, ma'am.
Leaf Crick is all talk. Let tongue bear in a hay wagon. Why, he'd mealy mouth you out of your eye teeth and sell 'em back to you.
You're right, Granny.
That's a fact.
And it won't do any good to argue with me.
You're right. Let's all quit arguing with Granny so as we can eat.
How can I dish the victuals if you don't hold your plates up?
You're right, Granny.
That's a fact.
Yes, ma'am.
You are. I've just left your friend Leif Crick. What a hard-working, industrious, wonderful man he is.
What did you say?
Then it's settled. If Jed Clampett wants you as a night watchman at my bank, a night watchman you are.
If you put it that way, I'm afraid I can't take the job.
Oh, why not?
Well, it makes me feel like I'd treat a possum with Jed's hound.
Oh, of course, I see your point. You don't want to feel, what's the word, beholden to Jed, eh?
That's right, Mr. Drysdale. I'm a poor man. I'm as rough as a cob and plain as dirt, but I got my pride.
You are like Mr. Clampett.
Like that, Jed and me. Two berries on a bush, all as much.
All right. I'll say it was my idea to hire you. Now, when do you want to start to work?
How about tonight?
Can you get some rest?
Rest? What's that?
Mr. Crick, men like you are few and far between.
Thank you, boss.
I tell you, Granny, the man is a veritable one-man sawmill. Cutting, chopping, splitting logs.
You see, Granny, old Leif has changed.
Well, if he has, I'm going to jump in that pond with all of my clothes on.
In a bank at night with a gun and $50 million.
I told you so.
Doggone, Granny, she was right. Granny. Granny always was a woman of her word. I fished your shoes out of the pond, Granny. I'll set them in the oven and let them dry out.
Much obliged.
Listen. What is that? You got your rheumatism, baby?
Oh, never mind. I seen it. I can't believe it. Leif Crick swinging an axe, splitting wood.
You ain't heard the best part, Granny. Old Leif done got himself a job.
Job. Leif Crick.
That's right.
Changed my mind. Fetch my jug.
Mr. Drysdale Bank.
The bank where you got your money?
That's right.
Jed, turning a rascal loose like that in a bank is like putting a hungry fox in a henhouse.
Give the man a chance, Granny. Maybe it's a good thing for Leif to learn a trade. At least now folks will know what kind of work he's out of. Good. What to fetch your drink, Ethel?
No. This calls for a cool head and warm feet.
I sure do appreciate you carrying me to the bank, boy.
Glad to do it. If I stayed here, I'd have to dig a hole under the alum tree for Granny. And that there's hard work. I mean, W-O-R-K. Granny told me never to say that word around you. Gets you to cussing.
Jethro, you shouldn't do work like digging a hole. Fine, handsome boy like you.
Shucks, it's no harder than cutting wood or plowing or clearing stumps.
You ought to get yourself married, son. Then you wouldn't have to do woman's work.
Yeah.
Make yourself comfortable, Mr. Frick. Mr. Drysdale will be right back.
Thank you, ma'am. My, this must be the finest, most beautiful office in all the world.
Oh, I'd hardly say that.
Well, I reckon it must be you, ma'am. Pretty girl always makes her own pretty.
Devil.
Oh, that's where you keep old Jed's money, is it?
Yes, the Commerce Bank is very proud to be the guardian of the fortune belonging to your nearest and dearest friend.
Like that, Jed and me. 2 drips of dew, all's was.
Make yourself at home. I'll just have a few words with Jethro.
Fine boy, Jethro. Looking for a wife. You and him would make a mighty handsome couple. Well, blue blazes to the keep Jed's money. Thanks, Mr. Drysdale, sir. Giving thanks for a fine, generous, upstanding young man like yourself letting a poor old razorback like me work in his fine bank, looking after the money of his nearest and dearest friend. Great.
You're a good man. Jed Clampett is wealthy in more ways than you. A friend like you is worth more than $1 million.
Oh, I do hope to be, sir. I do hope to be.
Where is that no-account, overgrown, big, lazy...
Granny, I told you Levy's got a job.
I'm talking about Jethro. He promised to commence to dig me a root cellar.
Well, Jethro is taking Leif to work. I'm going to start the root cellar for you.
One bad apple will spoil the barrel. You mark my words. That Leif is going to turn those young'uns into a no-account like himself.
Granny, you bring me bread to help dig your root. Come on, Skip, let's go.
Don't look like them two are spoiled, man.
Give him time.
Leif ain't going to be around to do much spoiling. I bet you Mr. Drysdale's got him working to beat the band right now.
I didn't send your whiskers, did I?
Oh, look here. This time I haven't tied into one of these. Is it all for me, or do I give you half?
No, I don't suppose it. Mr. Frick, would you like me to send for my barber?
Oh, no, I can smoke it by myself.
No, I thought you might want to shave. My barber would be happy to come over here and give you one.
You mean right while I'm a sitting here?
All I have to do is call him.
That's sure his hand here. Yes. I'll just keep that in mind if I ever should need a shave and a haircut. Yeah. But right now, I'm anxious to get to work. That's kind of a man I am. If you was to put it in a gunny sacks, I'd set on them sacks with my shotgun across my lap. Now then, you wouldn't have to worry at all. You could just go off someplace and sleep like a baby.
Mr. Frick, I'm afraid you have a slight misconception about the way we guard our money here at the bank. In the first place, Miss Clappett's fortune isn't actually here.
It ain't.
No, it ain't. And the money we do keep here is locked in a massive steel vault which cannot possibly be opened at night.
That kind of worries me, old Jet, me being like that.
Well, you can stop worrying. And Mr. Clappett knows his money is perfectly safe And he knows he can get all the anytime he wants it.
And it's all now.
He doesn't even have to leave his house.
Why, that
Conta la mela. Ahí la conta la mela. Ahí la conta la mela. Ahí la conta la mela.
habit of a lifetime, sir. It is.
Mr. Crick, wait just a minute. Can I drive home?
Of course. Fantastic man. A human dynamo.
Yes, it was quite amusing. When the Clappets first arrived, Granny insisted the entire fortune be changed into silver so it could be buried in the backyard. In the backyard?
Thank you.
A bundle of energy. A fine example for Jethro.
There you are, Jethro.
But Uncle Jed, Mr. Crick says I ain't supposed to do women's work.
See what I told you? The bad apple is commencing to spoil the barrel.
Jethro, you don't listen to what Mr. Crick tells you. You do what I tell you. Now, get on out there. I'll join you in a minute with the shovel.
Yes, sir.
Here comes the wormy wine sap now. I'm gonna press my shotgun.
Jethro, stop your granny.
Yes, sir.
You do a little digging out back yonder.
Well, I'll do it for you.
You could help if you're a man.
No, I want to do it all myself.
I stopped her, Uncle Jed. Well, let's commence the digging under that big old elm out there.
Doggone it, Jethro. I want to do all the digging around here.
Late. The kind of digging that Granny wants done would take one man all night.
Well, hard work never hurt nobody. I'll see you in the morning.
It's a miracle. A plumb miracle.
I said it last night and I'll say it again this morning. If that Leif Crick has dug me a root cellar, I'll jump back into the cement pond with an anvil in my arms.
I wouldn't say too much, Granny. Leif's been right full of surprises lately.
He's nothing but